Gentleman from Florida, who's recognized for five minutes.
I thank the chairman for his leadership on this issue and for giving us so many opportunities to explore these programs as we prepare for a potential reauthorization. And I'd like to thank all of you for your time here today. I spent a little over 4 years on the Miami-Dade County Public School Board, so I am familiar with the challenges that school districts and local communities face. And what I wanted to ask you is, I'm looking here, we have 6 federal child nutrition programs, each with their own rules, eligibility criteria, requirements, compliance requirements. In my mind, a more simple system, perhaps fewer programs, less regulation, would help school districts and really schools, we're talking about principals, better manage their schools and do everything in their power to make sure that kids aren't hungry and that they are getting a healthy diet. What are some of your ideas for how we could reform this system, perhaps collapsing some of these programs, consolidating them, and giving our school districts, our states, the opportunity to figure out what the best way to address this obesity crisis that we have, the fact that some kids are hungry, which we cannot ignore. If you all could kind of give me your, in 30 seconds or 1 minute, your ideal framework for these federal nutrition programs. We can start here. Yeah.
I'd be happy to begin. I think you said it well in your opening statement about the number of different programs and the regulations that need to be more succinct and put together. So one of those things that we were seeing is that the multitude of regulations that we have to interpret and help school districts interpret takes away time from really implementing the program with fidelity. So definitely number one would be that piece of it is really reducing those amount of oversight. The second thing from a state agency perspective, but I think the school districts feel the same, the requirements for the 3-year cycle for reviews really is overwhelming for the amount of time that we spend preparing rather than just implementing the program. And I think the best example I have of that, one of my tiny districts stated that they spent more time, more hours preparing for the review than they have students in their district. Spent 100 hours preparing, they have 90 kids in their district. So we need to be thinking about ways in which we can address that and be more logical in our approach to the reauthorization.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, and echoes through our local school board members and other districts in Indiana is just some flexibility, and whether that means a consolidation of some programs or just some flexibility at the local level to make these meals appealing, not ignoring the nutrition and healthy part of that. We want to provide healthy, nutritious meals, and that's important, but some local flexibility to increase the appeal so that these children are eating their lunches and not throwing them away, or parts of it.
I think what I'd like to see is some seamless integration between the child and adult care food programs that operate the supper and after-school snack programs with school districts, making it much easier for them to operate both programs and not have to go through 2 different agencies, 2 different accrediting bodies, and the same thing like we did with the seamless summer programs, combining those together, making it easier if you have a school nutrition program that you can already operate all of those programs, because it takes a lot of time and effort to apply for all those things and go through all the different auditing things. But the other thing we're seeing is school nutrition directors working with lots of different smaller systems, helping them be successful in their programs. So they're mentoring them, and SNA and USDA's got a lot of great training programs out there, and the National School Food Service Management Institute is doing these mentoring programs, and I think it'll help these people be successful, because there's a lot of us that are successful. We just need to bring up those people that are not successful.
Thank you. And I would echo Dr. Shop's comments about the administrative review process. Integrity is important to the program, but a process that would enable us to identify those school districts or those school food authorities at greatest risk and review those more frequently would be helpful instead of reviewing everyone every 3 years because it's part of the review cycle. I would also echo Ms. Martin's comments that a seamless transition between the school nutrition programs and the child and adult care food program would be important. For example, in North Carolina, 2 distinct agencies operate these programs for important reasons. If a school district is authorized by one agency to participate in the federally funded programs, it should be a simple transition to operate the program operated from another state agency.
The gentleman's time's expired.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank